Hi, and welcome to my math class this year. I really like this quote that you're looking at from Albert Einstein because this is something I firmly believe in. I don't want you to just think about mathematics as learning formulas and facts. I want you to think of it as training your mind to think because that's really the purpose for math classes. So that involves critical thinking. And so what is critical thinking? Well, in order to solve a problem, you're going to have to identify what the problem is. And that may sound easier, pretty easy and obvious, but it's not always as easy as it sounds. And so we're going to learn how to actually identify what the problem is. And then you got to figure out how to solve the problem. And so that's going to involve many things. One of them could be looking at the quantities or the variables in the problem and how are they related to each other. It could also be using assumptions or definitions that we've previously learned, previously established, to construct your arguments. How are you going to persuade somebody that this is the right solution? You're going to apply the mathematics that you already know to solve problems that arise in everyday life. You're going to look at all the tools when solving a mathematical problem. And when we talk about tools, I'm not just talking about the kind of tools that you're seeing on the slide right now, like a calculator, scissors, pencil, protractor, compass, and so on. But I'm also talking about other types of tools, like, for instance, maybe you are going to use some formulas or some theorems that have been established. So we're going to look for all of those things. Communication is going to be key. You have to communicate precisely when you think critically. Because if you're really thinking and you really have, sorted through all of the information, you should be able to communicate precisely how you're going about solving the problem. And that's going to be really important. And we're going to go through that more as the year goes on and how to communicate appropriately in mathematics. Because it's a little different than what you may have seen before. Hopefully you've already got some of it down from previous years, but if not, you're going to really get it down this year. You're going to look at problems and look for structure and patterns in them, because if we see patterns are all around us in the real world. And if you see patterns and things, and you've already solved problems similar to it before, then you have a pretty good idea of how to solve a current problem. So you're going to look for shortcuts because of that. You're going to look for those patterns and look for those known formulas and so on. So maybe there's a quicker way you can solve this problem next time so that you can use what you've learned to a new type of problem. I get this all of the time. When am I ever going to use this? And I ought to be honest with you, there's probably a good chance you're never going to use a lot of this math ever again in your everyday life. But that's not what I'm concerned about. What I'm concerned about is that you become a problem-solving ninja. And that's what all of the things that we're going to go through this year help you become. And so, the adventure begins. Let's begin.